Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drunken Rant Uncensored.
Yeah.
I'm Liam, and this lovely lady over here is Olivia.
Hey there, you beautiful bastards.
It's Monday, December 2nd, and we're about to get into some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia, why don't you give these fine folks a little taste of what we've got in store for them?
Well, Liam, my sweet, sweet boy, tonight we're diving deep into the wonderful world of Jameson Irish Whiskey. You know, that smooth, triple-distilled nectar that makes every day feel like St. Patrick's Day.
Hell yeah.
Cheers to that.
Tonight's episode is Whiskey War and What the Cannibals. We're going to talk about how Jameson went from a little old Dublin distillery to the world's #3 whiskey.
But wait, there's a twist.
Ooh, the twist.
We'll also uncover a dark little secret about one of the Jameson heirs. Let's just say his idea of a trip to the Congo involved a little more than just sightseeing.
Sounds good to me. Do it. Hey, before we continue, remember to subscribe to stay informed.
Don't forget.
We're going to be dropping all sorts of drunken wisdom and scandalous stories right here, so you don't want to miss out.
Okay, so Jameson's story begins way back in 1780 in Dublin.
1780? That's like older than America.
Way older. And guess what? This whole thing was started by a lawyer named John Jameson.
A lawyer? What the hell did a lawyer know about making whiskey?
Well, apparently he knew enough to create one of the most successful whiskey brands in the world. He even married into a Scottish whiskey family, the Haigs. You know those guys who make that scotch your grandpa drinks?
Haigs. More like Hags, am I right?
Ooh, you are naughty. But yeah, this John Jameson was quite the character. He had 16 kids.
16? Holy shit, think of all the whiskey he must needed to deal with that brood.
Right, 8 boys and 8 girls. And you know what's even crazier?
Right.
4 of those sons went into the family business.
Had to talk about keeping it in the family. Must have been one hell of a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
So was old John Jameson a serious dude or what?
Well, besides having 16 kids, one of those Jameson sons was the grandfather of Guglielmo Marconi.
Marconi, the radio guy? No way.
The way small world, right?
And to think it all started with a dude who probably wore a powdered wig.
Probably.
So Jameson was once the world's #1 whiskey. How the hell did that happen?
It's a fascinating story. You see, back in the late 1800s, Irish whiskey was king. It was considered the most sophisticated and sought-after whiskey in the world. People loved its smooth, easy drinking style. Jameson, with its focus on quality and innovation, quickly rose to the top.
But they're not #1 anymore, are they? What happened?
Well, a few things. The temperance movement put a damper on things for a while.
Ugh, those killjoys don't even get me started.
And then there was the Irish War of Independence.
Ah, yes, the good old days of fighting the Brits. Can't imagine that helped business much.
Not at all. And then to add insult to injury came Prohibition in the U.S.
Prohibition? You're kidding me? That must have been a real kick in the nuts for those Jameson boys.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that also affect the Scottish whiskey makers?
It did. But they had a bit of an advantage. They could still ship their whiskey to Canada and other countries that weren't so uptight about booze. And get this, those crafty Scots started blending their whiskeys. Blending allowed them to create a more consistent product and appeal to a wider market. That's when blended Scotch really took off.
Damn Scots, always got to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to good old-fashioned Irish, single pot, still whiskey?
Well, Liam, that's a story for another time, maybe after a few more drinks, but let's just say that the rise of blended whiskeys had a huge impact on the Irish whiskey industry. In fact, Irish whiskey almost disappeared completely.
So how did Jameson survive all that?
Well, they had to get creative. Remember how we were talking about how Irish whiskey almost vanished? Well, in the 1960s, there were only 2 distilleries left in all of Ireland. 2
distilleries? That's rough. So what did they do? Did they just throw in the towel and start making Guinness instead?
Nah, they weren't quitters. They decided to team up. In 1966, John Jameson and Son, Cork Distilleries Company, and John Power and Son merged to form the Irish Distillers Group. It was like the Avengers of Irish whiskey assembling to save the industry.
So like a drunken Voltron.
You got it. They pooled their resources, combined their expertise, and focused on producing a few key brands, with Jameson being their flagship.
Smart move. So they were back in the game, right? Irish whiskey was saved.
Not so fast. They still had a long way to go. In 1988, the French company Pernod Ricard bought out Irish Distillers Group.
No, not the French. Those cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Yep, Pernod Ricard, the company behind brands like Absolut Vodka and Chivas Regal, now owns Jameson.
Damn, it's always about the money, isn't it?
It is a business after all, but hey, at least Pernod Ricard had the resources and the global reach to really take Jameson to the next level. They invested heavily in marketing and distribution, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And now Jameson's the number 3 whiskey in the world. Not bad for a brand that almost went extinct.
Exactly. It's a real comeback story, but it's not just about clever marketing. Jameson makes a damn good whiskey. People genuinely love that smooth, easy drinking taste.
Speaking of damn good, did you hear about that bar in Minneapolis, the one that sold like a zillion bottles of Jameson back in 2008?
Oh, you mean the local?
Yeah.
They were slinging 22 bottles a day. Can you imagine?
22 bottles a day. Holy shit, those Minnesotans must be some serious drinkers. Or maybe they just really love their Jameson. So we've talked about the history, the mergers, the French takeover, but how the hell do they actually make this stuff? What's the secret behind Jameson's magical powers?
It all starts with the ingredients. Jameson uses a blend of grain whiskey and single pot still whiskey.
Hold on, single pot still. What the hell is it? That sounds fancy.
It is pretty unique to Irish whiskey. Single pot still whiskey is made using a mash of both malted and unmalted barley in a single pot still.
Unmalted, so it's straight out of the field.
Pretty much it gives the whiskey a spicy, grainy character that sets it apart from other whiskeys.
Interesting. So how do they dry this barley? With peat like Scotch?
Nope. That's another key difference between Irish whiskey and Scotch. Jameson dries their barley in a closed kiln using natural gas. No peat involved. This is a big part of why Jameson has such a smooth, approachable flavor. It lacks that smoky, peaty punch that you get with Scotch.
So no peat, no feet stomping sounds kind of boring, to be honest. Where's the excitement?
Oh, don't you worry, Liam. There's still plenty of excitement to be had. Remember we were talking about twists? Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Hit me with it. You know, I love a good scandal. Is this the part about the cannibals?
Not quite. This story is about the Jameson brand's recent actions. See, Jameson was selling a lot of whiskey in Russia even after the invasion of Ukraine. This didn't sit well with a lot of people.
Wait, so they were like supporting Putin's war machine with their whiskey profits?
Well, it wasn't that simple. It was a complex situation with a lot of different factors to consider, but the optics weren't great, and a lot of people called for a boycott of Jameson.
So what did Jameson do? Did they pull out of Russia?
They did eventually, but it took a while, and they face a lot of criticism for their initial hesitation. It was a tough spot to be in. They had to balance their business interests with ethical considerations and public pressure.
Yeah, I bet that was a tough call. So what was the fallout? Did the boycott hurt their sales?
It's hard to say for sure. The boycott definitely generated a lot of negative press and sparked some heated debates online, but ultimately, Jameson is still a hugely popular brand.
People love their booze, right? Even if it comes with a side of controversy.
That's the truth. But hey, it's important to be aware of these issues and make informed choices as consumers. We can vote with our wallets, so to speak.
Right on. So we've covered the history, the production, the boycott. But you mentioned something about a Jameson Heir. What's that all about? So what's the dirt on this Jameson Heir? Did he get caught bootlegging during Prohibition or something?
Worse, Liam. Much worse. This is a story that might make you think twice before taking another sip of your Jameson. It involves James S. Jameson, the creator's great-great-grandson.
Okay, so what did this Jameson Heir do, Rob? A bank run for president?
He fancied himself an explorer and adventurer. In 1890, he set off on an expedition to the Congo.
The Congo? That's like the heart of darkness, man. What the hell was he thinking?
William, this was back in the 19th century, and let's just say that people had some pretty messed up ideas about Africa and its people.
Okay, so what happened in the Congo? Did he, discover a lost city? Or fight off a tribe of pygmy warriors?
It's a lot darker than that. He went to an area inhabited by cannibals.
Cannibals? Holy shit! Now we're talking. Did he, escape from their clutches and live to tell the tale?
It's not quite the adventure story you're imagining. See, Jameson wanted to witness an act of cannibalism firsthand.
What the fuck? Is this guy for real?
He was deadly serious. According to his own account, he purchased a 10-year-old girl from her family and gave her to the tribe as a gift.
Jesus Christ. That's messed up on so many levels. I need another drink.
Yeah, this is some heavy stuff Jameson watched as they killed and ate the girl. He even sketched the whole thing.
He sketched it? What the actual fuck? That's just sick. What kind of person does that?
Well, Liam, you have to remember, this was a different time. Attitudes towards other cultures, especially in Africa, were often horrifically racist and dehumanizing.
Okay, but that's no excuse for what he did.
Yeah.
So what happened to this Jameson asshole?
Heck yeah.
Did he get arrested? Hanged for murder?
He didn't face any real consequences for his actions. He claimed later that he was sick with a fever and didn't really know what he was doing. But his story is widely considered to be a fabrication.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that one too.
Yeah.
You don't just buy a person for cannibals because you got a sniffle.
Exactly. So there you have it. James S. Jameson, the great-great-grandson of the founder of Jameson Whiskey, was a man of privilege and wealth who committed a horrific act of barbarity.
Damn, that's one hell of a story.
Yeah.
Definitely puts a damper on things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about the dark side of history and how some things never really change.
It certainly does. It's a reminder that even iconic brands like Jameson have a complicated past filled with both triumph and tragedy.
Well, folks, there you have it. The story of Jameson Irish whiskey, from humble beginnings in Dublin to global domination, with a few dark secrets along the way. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. We always love hearing from you, even if you're calling us idiots.
And if you enjoyed this drunken rant, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more scandalous stories and historical deep dives. We'll be back next week with another tale that's sure to get you talking.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to all you lovely listeners out there. Don't be strangers until next time. Stay thirsty, my friends.
See ya.